Today, we're going to be testing out Google's new AI super agent, Google Opal, which can basically build SaaS tools for you, and it is completely free. Now, this is better than a lot of the paid tools I've used, and you can code stuff out in literally 1 minute without even understanding what code is or how to use it. As an example of this, you can actually see that I, for example, built a keyword generator, a blog post, shorts creator, Hormozy, ad copy style generator, and here's an example of the tool that you can build. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to build these out step by step. If you want to get access to all the links from today, they're all right here inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can see the examples of these different generators along with an SOP, and it's really simple to build this. Absolutely incredible. So if you've never tested this before, basically you can build, edit, and share mini AI apps using natural language, which means basically you type in what you want, and then the AI just goes off and does it for you. Really powerful way to generate apps, and if you have an idea in your head, maybe it's a blog post writer, maybe it is, for example, like a video generator or even like a podcast generator, well, you can actually build it directly with Google Opal, and it is insanely powerful, right? So for example, here we've got the blog post writer, and essentially I just built this in a couple of minutes. Literally all I did was say, like, create a nice little blog post writer. And then, for example, if we click on start here, we can type in our SEO keyword. And then from here, we can say, right, okay, I want to write some content about AI super agents, right? Something like that. We can hit enter like so. This is going to do the research with the free API inside Google, and then it's going to go off and start using this directly, right? Now, if you've never compared this to something like NA10, NA10 is very, very popular as a tool as well online. But the problem with NA10 is, like, a lot of people don't find it that practical. And the biggest reason for that is because I would say there's not that much quality control when it comes to building stuff out. And also, like, even if it's no code in some ways, in many ways, it still requires a technical understanding of how to build these workflows, right? So you can build with NA10. You can also build with other tools like, for example, you've got other tools like, let's have a think here. We've got, for example, Lindy, stuff like that you can build with as well. But the problem with Lindy and these other AI agents as well is that you have to pay like $100 a month for the minimum, right? Whereas, for example, when you're using something like Google Opal, you can just go off, you tell it what you want, it goes off, it builds it, boom, shakalaka. All right, so it's now currently doing a search. Now, the other interesting thing about this is it can conduct Google searches, which is interesting because it basically connects whatever AI you're building with to the internet, so it can go off and search things, right? Whereas, for example, if you're using NA10, you actually have to set up a special workflow, usually with Perplexity or Firecrawl, and then it gets all technical and messy and confusing for most people who don't understand how to use NA10 in the first place anyway, right? So let me show you an example. If we want to create a workflow with something like NA10, we can, but when we're waiting to build this, you kind of have to know what you're doing, right? So you click on trigger manually, then you're going to type in your AI agent. Most of the time as well, you're going to have to plug in your own API key, and that's going to cost you money unless you're using a free one. And it all gets messy, right? Whereas, for example, if we go over to Opal, this AI agent, right, and we can build and create AI apps for free in literally like one single prompt. So if we click on create new over here, and then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and type in what we want, right? And you see the UI is super nice, right? If you compare the UI side by side versus something like NA10 as well, it is a lot more user-friendly, right? This looks cool but confusing. This looks, it almost looks like, like an Apple app or something like that. Just really easy to use. All right. So step by step, we can easily start building this out. And let's say, for example, we want to build like an app to learn a language, right? And if you have any app ideas, feel free to post them inside the chat. I can try and build them for you live whilst we're here today. So, for example, here we can say an app to learn a language. Hit enter like so, and then we're good to go. Now, Sportus Nutrition says, Julian, can we take the JSON from an NA10 workflow and use it inside Opal? Potentially, you might be able to paste it in there, as JSON, and say, like, build this inside NA10. But here's what I would probably do. This is probably a smart way to do it, right? So let's say, for example, we have an NA10 workflow that we want to transfer over to Opal. Here's how I would probably do it. So, for example, let's have a look here. What we got? What we got? Let's have a look. Maybe we got a blog writer or something like that. But let's just take a basic one. Let's take a basic one. So, for example, let's say we've got a chatbot and we want to just build that out directly inside NA10 like this one, right? So we can take a little screenshot of that. We can take a little, we can copy that, right? X off there. And then if we go back to our dashboard inside Opal, by the way, this is already built it. This is pretty crazy. But if we go back here inside Opal and we'll paste in that screenshot, I think we could just build it there, or you could just describe what you want, right? So that would be the other way. We can also just go and generate here and then build it out side by side, kind of like NA10, but a little bit more user friendly. So I think that's the other way you could do it as well. Yeah. Actually, what's interesting is you can't insert images here, which is a little bit annoying. But the other thing you could do here as well is you could go over to something like ChatGPT. You paste in the screenshot that you got of the NA10 workflow that you want to build inside Opal, and you say, just describe this into one sentence so I can build it as a no-code app with a prompt, right? Something like that. And that'll probably give you a prompt. There we go. Look, this workflow listens for an incoming chat message, right? So we copy that. Then we're going to go back over to Opal, wherever we're building. We paste in what we want. We hit enter, and then it can start building the app, right? Using that directly. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Quote says, Opal is good, but it's open source. I create 6 apps quite good. Yaz says, I think GenSpark is the best AI agent in general. Yeah, I do really like GenSpark. I think it's very, very powerful. And Glenn says how to use it on Samsung Android. So you just access the website, right? opal.withgoogle.com. And then from there, you can start building it. And Sobriety says, I'm about to publish my meme generator on GitHub made with AI. Good on you. Good on you. All right. Actually, let's try and build that. Let's try and build a meme generator. And so if we go inside here, so by the way, we created that chatbot that we talked about a second ago. But if we go back here, we'll go and create new. And we're just blasting out apps today. We've already built a chatbot and a language learner already. But if we go inside here and we say, right, okay, build a meme generator, something like that. I'm sure yours is better, by the way. Sobriety is rad. Which I agree with, actually. I've been sober for 12 years now. So that will start generating here. Now we've got this app built, right? It's incredible how quickly it builds. And you can test it side by side. So you've got your workflow here. You can make any edits that you want once you've created it over here. And then you can test out over here. Or if you click on app, now you can start generating and editing with your meme generator, right? So you can mess around with it. So if you click on start, enter the text for your meme. All right, let's go on to ChatGPT and I'll say, give me a simple idea for a meme about SEO, right? Very simple, but funny text. Caption. We'll head to Lexel. Albert says, looks like I can't run Opal. Yeah, so if you're having trouble accessing Opal and that sort of thing, let me know inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just drop me a message and I'll show you how some people get access to it. So here's a simple one that will hit home. Okay, skeleton sitting at a computer waiting for Google to index my new page. All right, so we'll copy that caption. We'll go back over here. We're going to type this in. And we're going to actually I'll type in the whole idea. All right, we'll take that over here. We'll plug that into our meme generator. We'll head into like so. Optional image. No. Suggest a topic. SEO. Describe the desired meme style or theme. I'm just going to put funny. And then I'll put that. And then it should start generating the meme using this process, right? You can see how easy and quick it is to do. Matet says, I need an app that can help me check that the samples for the VST plugin I am building don't have copyright issues. Yeah, I mean, so here we go. Look at that meme generator. Boom shakalaka. That was incredible. So easy to build, right? We just built, let's recap. Let's take a little step back here. So we have built a meme generator in like one click and it worked perfectly, right? We created a language learning bot and we also created a chat bot, right? And all of these we created in like one single prompt. It's incredible how easy and simple the process is. Now, Sobriety says, I like it, me too. And then let's go back here. So need an app. Yeah, so for that, like I would just go back to, I mean, that's a really technical one that I can't test on the live stream, right? I thought you were going to give me easy ones like create a blog content writer or something like that. But yeah, for checking like that sort of stuff, I would just create new, describe what you want, boom, right? There you go. Daniel says, what do you do if it's not working? Great question, all right? So what we can do is if we go to that meme generator, and let's say you want to make it more interesting or funny or that sort of thing, right? Or you could say, just take my concept and generate the meme. So what you could do is like, we could say, simplify this. Just take my concept that I input, then generate the meme based on that. E.g., I only put in one input, like, and then I'll take the caption from ChatGPT and we'll just plug that in to simplify this app, right? So we'll hit into like so. And then we can start editing our app here directly. Glenn says, wow. Quote says, what are you think Lindy AI is good to create some agents, but I can't get public UI like Relevance AI. Lindy is my game changer. I like Lindy, but you know, honestly, like there's going to be more and more no-code tools like this that are going to simplify things and they're going to be free, right? And so like, if I had a choice right now between building a new app on Lindy or building a new app on Google Opal, I'm probably going to choose Opal, right? Let's be honest. Lindy is powerful and can do some great stuff, but you know, from what I've seen, it's not amazing. The one thing I do like about it, let me show you this. This is going to be cool. So if we go to my emails here, I'm just going to type in today's. All right, today's news headlines, right? So you can see here, we actually have this is generated with Lindy every 24 hours. And basically what we do on here is we quickly generate loads of news headlines using this process. And it gives me like today's news headlines like every 24 hours. That's really good, but you can do the same thing now directly inside Gemini. So if I had a choice between building a scheduled task inside Lindy or Gemini, well, I'm going to do it with Gemini because Gemini is free, right? And you can just do the same thing. So that's where I would take things. So now we've got the meme concept. Pretty simple and easy. Glenn says that's cool. And then from here, we can just test it out again, right? So if we go back to the app, we'll click on refresh. Well, you can go to editor, refresh here. If that's not working, then we can just refresh the page. And now we can start testing out, right? So let's click on this. We'll test it out. So I'm just going to take the caption from ChatGPT, plug that in, hit enter. And then that will start generating the image based on the instructions. And now we have a simplified app based on what we talked about, right? So really, really cool. Albert says, can Opal access YouTube music? Not as far as I know. I don't think it can. I think there'd be issues with like copyright and stuff like that. So yeah, but there we go. So we've got the meme generator. The only thing that I would change here is like ask it for the caption inside the image. But yeah, I actually think the first one was better. Glenn says, I believe there's restrictions. I've not come across any restrictions, but it depends what you're doing and how you're using it and that sort of thing. And then Yes says, Google is amazing, but why they can't unify all their agents and tools in one big website like Gemini? I think they gradually do, right? So a lot of the features that appeared inside Notebook LM, you can now do inside Gemini directly, right? So I think they gradually unify this stuff, but what they do is they release like separate experiments and separate websites in the meantime. So for example, like they had Google Flow, but I think nobody uses Google Flow anymore. I think mostly they use Veo 3 directly inside the chat. Or for example, like they had Notebook LM, but now you have these storybooks that can actually generate very similar outputs to Notebook LM using this process right here. So I think gradually they're unifying stuff. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if they build the Opal functionality directly inside Gemini, give it 6 months or a year, or you know, that sort of thing. But they like to have these experiment in the first place. I'm in the process of learning Python, then HTML and CSS, looking for a career change. Well, I think it's the perfect time to do that. You know, like you've got a great opportunity there. It's never been so exciting to build with AI, and times are looking good. So, you know, if you're thinking about doing this stuff, learning this stuff, this is the perfect time. Honestly, for me, I'm not going to learn HTML and CSS, but I think it probably does give you a big advantage if you're building with AI, because you get a lot more flexibility, and also you understand what you're building with and that sort of thing. Jack says, I don't have access to Opal. If you don't have access, you know, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom. I think some people have shared some ways to get around it, that sort of thing. Glenn says, oh, okay, Veo 3 generator app have video generation limits. Yeah, I actually think they doubled the limits this weekend. They doubled the limits. So they actually allow people to generate for free, and I think the limits were like 6 a day or something like that. But the minute it's free a day. If you want to build more than that, just use the API, right? So for example, inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, if you type in Veo 3, inside Veo 3 here, go to Veo 3 NA10 automation. And this automation here allows you to build as many videos as you want using Veo 3 and its API, right? And then you don't have any limits because you can just keep building over and over again. All right. Yeah, that's a way that you can build a sort of video generation app using NA10. And if you want the template, you just download it like this. So you download that template right there, upload it into NA10, boom, you're ready to go. All right. So that's how you can do it. So let's keep going through now. I want to show you some other cool stuff. So you can actually generate games here directly too. So for example, like Dino Jump, you can generate games here. What else we got here? So, I mean, this is really cool for, you got a blog post writer, you've got a city builder. This is pretty crazy. So you can actually come up with like AI generated visuals for like game concepts. So if we go to app over here, create a game concept, enter the location. So let's put, for example, Bangkok. Enter the game genre. I'm going to put sci-fi. And now it's going to start using that to generate this. Glenn says, "Why, are you serious?" Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's the world that we live in now. So, I mean, the other thing that I want you to know here is when you're building out these apps, you can actually share them or you can remix them, right? So if someone shares an app with you, like for example, this one, you can click on remix over here, and then you can actually take someone else's app, right? So you can take someone else's app, duplicate it, and then build it out yourself in any way that you want, right? So you can modify it. So for example, let's say you took my blog writer from the AI Profit Boardroom. Let's say you took one of these, right? Well, what you could do is if it doesn't generate the outputs or it doesn't work in the way you want in terms of the UI, what you can do here is suggest an edit, right? So you can say inside here, okay, remix this so that, and then you would go here and generate whatever you want, right? So for example, remix this so that the content generated is specifically tailored for Julian Goldie SEO's agency, right? Something like that. And then you can remix someone else's app, right? It's kind of like open source, but you're sharing your ideas. Someone takes it, they remix it, someone else can take it, and we all sort of build and learn and create together, right? So you're good to go. And then Screen Logan says 10 videos limit. That might be the limit on Veo 3 directly, but yeah. So if you want to build, like I said, if you want to build with no limits, then just use the automation inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So This is generating the game video. And then if you go over to Opal, you can see that we can just build out whatever we want, right, directly. Pretty cool. You can also build like video generators, I think, directly inside here, as far as I'm aware, which is pretty cool as well. So if we click on create new, for example, and then we can just get, I actually prefer this method to, build with ChatGPT. But if you want to build directly inside the chat here, you can go inside and say, right, okay, build out an app that generates funny videos, something like that. You can also add assets to the projects, and you can also change the output and everything like that. So now we've got the output from the city game generator, right? So it's come up with the concept, Cyberpunk Bangkok, Neon Nights, a glimpse into the future. It's got this nice little game concept of like, okay, a neon drenched cyberpunk, walking around Mahanakorn Skywalk and one Bangkok, etc. We've got a visual there, but more importantly, we've got this video generated, right? How insane is that? So if we open this up, you can see that we've now generated a video as a game concept for this, right? So it's absolutely amazing. And then you can download that, you can change the playback speed, etc. But essentially what you've done here is generate a game concept using Veo 3, I think it is, using this. And people are asking, does this really look like Bangkok? On a very stormy night, this looks like Bangkok. Yeah, I mean, you can see like the cityscape right there, the BTS SkyTrain. Pretty amazing. So that's it. Obviously, this is more like film noir style, but yeah, you get the point. So now we've got the funny video generator, right? So you describe the funny video you want. It starts generating here. If we want to test this out, we go over here, click on start, and then you describe the funny video you want, right? So if we go back to ChatGPT now, and I'm going to say, okay, give me a funny description for a video about this, short, simple prompt. I'm just going to use ChatGPT to simplify it on the spot, because if I'm talking to you on a live stream, like it's hard to think and do stuff at the same time. So I'm going to take this caption like so, but I'm going to say, right, just fill out the details a bit more so the video generator understands the concept, etc. There we go. So we can take that. Now we can go to our AI video generator. We'll plug this in. And again, like this is free, right? So I just want to tell you here, not only are you getting an app builder for free, but you're also being able to use a tool for free, right? How crazy is that? Like, just to be 100% clear here, you can generate videos for free using Google Opal in the style that you want in the app that you built. And if you want to share it, other people can. If other people want to remix it for free, they can, right? It's like, this is a crazy powerful sort of app builder. And normally you would pay like hundreds of dollars a month for something like this, but you can use it for free using Opal, right? That's the beauty of this thing. Ultimate Agency says, I'd be interested to see a video on Mind Studio AI from you. I love how they have a browser extension. I might check that out. Yeah, I'm not tested Mind Studio. And then quote says, how to create 3D models, assets, avatars using AI like Meshi AI. That sort of stuff, if you want to know how to do that sort of stuff, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, because it kind of goes out the scope of this live stream. The way that I would do it normally is like, if you want to build 3D models, avatars and stuff like that, you're going to use something like Synesthesia, or you're going to use HeyGen or something like that, right? If you actually type in avatar here in the search bar, type in avatar in the search bar, and then you can see all the trainings that we have inside the AI Profit Boardroom on exactly how to do this, right? And it's all step by step. So it shows you exactly how to do it. So just generating the video clip now. But yeah, I'm actually blown away by how good that is. You could play with this stuff all day, right? And then what you can see is every time you build an app, right, it's gonna show under your Opal app section, right? So you can see I've built 2 pages of Opal apps here, which is pretty wild. And then you can also see the gallery. So these kind of like examples that you can actually remix and build with. So you can just click on remix here. If you want to create a image thumbnail for your project, you can just click on this. And then from here, you go to theme. And then inside the theme, you just type in what you want. And it will generate a thumbnail for you, like you can see right here, right? So that's how you can do this. And you can build games for this and that sort of thing. And then if you want to share it, you can actually share it like so. So if we click on this, we'll click on share app, click on publish, right? So this is the funny video maker that's generated over here. We'll come to that video in a second. And then we'll just copy that link. And if we go to type in Opal over here for the training, if you want to see the funny video generator, I'll just plug it in there, right? And then you can take that link and build whatever you want with it as well, right? So there we go. So that's basically how you do it. And then from here, we've got the funny video that we generated. Let's play this back. I'm just going to mute it because I don't really want the sound on this live stream. So this is a video we just generated with AI using the app that we built as well just now. So let's play this. All right, so this guy is doing SEO. And then you can see like he's just waiting for AI to start working, right? For his website to start working. So that's basically how you can use this. Tons of different things. I mean, the opportunities are limitless, right? Like you could say, okay, go inside here, give me 20 app ideas, right? And the good thing about using ChatGPT is it understands you, has a lot of personalization to you, you know, but whatever app you use currently for building, you know, most of your app, whatever you use for AI, mostly day to day, right? I use ChatGPT, but if you use Gemini, whatever you can, right? So what you can do here is you can say, okay, give me 20 app ideas, knowing what you know about me that would save me a lot of time, right? And then it'll come and give you some ideas, right? And this is all tailored to you and your business, right? So for example, for me, he's giving me 20 time-saving app ideas for me, like sales call analyzers, upsell trigger boss, daily sales KPI dashboards. It's giving me marketing and funnel ideas, SEO link building ideas, right? And you can just build all this stuff directly inside Google Opal, right? And that's 20 different ways to save time using Opal, right? Actually, if you want that prompt, let me take that. And then if you want to steal it from me, I'll just put it inside the training here. All right, boom. So that's it for me. That's exactly how to use this new Google AI Super Agent. Honestly, out of like most of the stuff that I've tested recently, this is by far the best. It's free. It works. I've shown you it works, proven it, etc. And it's absolutely amazing. If you want to, Def Soul says, what's a better coder than Claude? I would say Gemini 2.5 Pro. And then if you want to get access to all the training from today, it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. Inside here, you can see we've got loads of different trainings. We also have a community where you can post inside here. I mean, like, look at all the ways. What we do is we share our wins and we try and grow and learn together. You can see all these different wins where people are sharing stuff and learning together here. You can also see that we basically take requests for AI automations, and then we show you exactly how to build the idea that you have, right? So we show you step by step exactly what you can do and how you can build it. And then if you ever get stuck, you can, or if you want to keep learning every day, then you can jump on the coaching calls. We actually have 5 live coaching calls per week. And then additionally, inside the classroom here, if you want to learn the basics, you can learn from the 6-week AI automation masterclass here, right? So a lot of people come to me, they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know which AI tool to use, etc. And I'm just like, just focus and implement this. Like, literally, it takes an hour a week, so you can learn it in a really time efficient way as well, right? So if you want to learn AI, this is one of the best ways to do it. So hope to see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We also have a free community here with 22,000 members. This is the AI Money Lab. Comes with daily new trainings, as you can see, we're dropping every day. You can also connect with 20,000 people who are interested in AI. And additionally, you can see all of these different trainings here inside the classroom as well. So loads of cool stuff there. Feel free to check it out. Additionally, if you want to become a client and hire us for AI automations, then feel free to book in a call here, and we'll basically jump on a call with you, and you'll learn how to save time, what systems to build, and then we'll go off and build it directly for you. Automate Agency says nobody's more generous than you. Sporters says who's better than Julian Goldie. Look at those 2 testimonials on a live stream. I appreciate you guys. Absolute legends, guys and girls. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.